For many years, the Vermont Senate has been largely comprised of familiar faces, people who've held their positions for multiple terms. But this coming year will present an unusual situation, as more than half of all senators will have just 2 years of experience or less. ABC 22's Matt Holderman joins us live in the newsroom to talk more about the upcoming adjustment and what some longtime senators have to say. Matt?
Yeah, Lauren, that's right. This change has really built up over the past 2 years or so. The last election saw 10 new senators, and with recent deaths and retirements, we'll see even more new faces in this next biennium.
You know, there was always going to be a moment where we turned over the Senate. We've hit that moment.
When Vermont's next legislative session starts in January 2025, the higher up of the two chambers is going to look a whole lot different. 6 senators with nearly 200 combined years of experience won't be returning to the state capitol. That includes the late Dick Mazza and Dick Sears, who both died over the past 2 Saturdays. And on top of that, 4 senators are retiring from their positions, those being Brian Campion, Jane Kitchell, Dick McCormick, and Bobby Starr, who started as a state rep in 1979.
Over half of the Senate's going to have 2 years of experience or less, and it's going to make it hard.
One concern that will come with their absences, they chaired a combined 5 Senate committees, including agriculture, education, and transportation.
Honestly, as I drive during my day, that's very much in my thoughts. Who's going to do what?
Senate President Pro Tem Phil Baruth says while they have tried lining up vice chairs to take over some of those positions, the task of teaching 16 or more newer senators the ways of the Senate and its committees may be challenging.
We will be at our wits' end to try to make sure people are brought up to speed, to make sure that they're trained in the arcane procedures of state government.
That younger crew has got a lot to learn about the respect and the demeanor.
Despite that, Baruth says he's confident the upcoming group of senators will be able to perform their jobs well, especially once they get past that learning curve of legislative language.
These are people with impressive resumes. They are friendly, charismatic people.
Some of you might not know, Senator Baruth is also a professor at UVM, and he told me one of his teaching tactics that he'll use at the State House again next year is office hours, where he will invite new senators to come ask questions, share frustrations, and more. Just another strategy he hopes will turn them into productive legislators, just like their predecessors. For now, live in the newsroom, Matt Holderman, ABC 22 News.